Pseudo joins us now from Melbourne. Mate, good to see you.
Hey, how you going, guys?
Mate, we're good. I see last time we saw you had the full Bushman's beard. You've sort of pared it back now to this sort of 1935 Berlin look you're going with. How are you, mate? You well?
Yeah, great, thank you.
35 years since the band got together. You're still pulling in big crowds. In fact, I would hesitate they're getting bigger than ever. What do you think that's keeping them coming back for more?
Well, I guess, look, the body of work is good between the two bands, and I think between us, we have a good vibe on stage. I think both bands complement each other, and I think that the last tour, I think people liked it, and we came back by popular demand.
They want more. They want more, Brian. And as we mentioned earlier, I mean, Funky Town was a massive hit all over the world in the 80s. When we just played that little intro package, everybody was talking about how it took them back.
Yeah.
Were you prepared at the time for how huge it would be?
I don't think you're ever prepared. If you are, you're probably, your ego's out of control. So I think that I just took it as it came. I don't think I thought, more than a few days ahead at that time of my life.
But, when you were recording that song, I mean, it is a cover of I think it's Lips incorporated to the original disco version. Did you guys sit around and just did it for fun, and then somebody said, I'm going to press record and we're just going to do one take and see how it goes, and then they just went, guys, this is the next single?
Almost. It was kind of like I'd heard it a couple of nights before a show. I just heard the original version. A mate played it to me. And at our next sound check at a gig, I started jamming it with the guys, and everybody sort of jumped in on it and said, "Oh, this sounds cool." And I think we actually performed it that night in the encore, because it's only got 4 chords and not many words either, so it's a treat for me. And, you never forget the words of that song.
Yeah. And
we just played it one night, and it went over so well. We kept playing it in the encore, and then we just had the idea to record it. So we took it into the studio and beat it into shape a bit more.
And away you went.
So good.
Yeah.
Brian, the band broke up in 1990 but reformed again in 99. So what was it that made you guys decide to get back together?
Well, we had a really good offer. Somebody sort of really kept hankering and saying, "Look, I want you to play at our club." And it was a retro club in Sydney at the time. And they had mentioned it a few times, and I wasn't sort of convinced that it was the right time, and I knew there was a lot of work to be done for it to be authentic and sound like the real deal too. So, but after just, constant sort of phone calls and liaison, I said, "Look, all right, we'll do this, but I'm going to need to really have some time, and I need to really get it right." So, which they gave me the time, and we got it right, and that was it. We did one show, thinking we'd just do a one show, and maybe that was that. And then it was so successful, and we had such a good vibe on the night that the phone started ringing, and we started working, and we've never stopped.
Yeah, and thank God for that. Now, also, people may or may not know that you've had huge success writing jingles. You've got a company that writes jingles for commercials.
Yeah.
Do you have a favourite?
Yeah, I do, really.
Go on.
My favourite would be my Matus commercial. That sort of sounds like kind of like a knockoff of George Michael with Careless Whispers, but there's no singing, it's just a sax, and that was kind of cool. I like that.
Because there is
I found the original demo just the other day and played it. My wife loved it, so it must be
As long as it worked.
You've worked for some big companies, though, writing jingles. I mean, this is actually a very big business, isn't it, for you? I think, 7-Eleven, is it Commonwealth Bank, a whole lot of big companies.
Yeah. I don't do it anymore. I'm just a rock star these days.
He's let his day job go.
That's it.
He's back. Canham's back,
as
guys.
we mentioned, you are about to team up again with 1927 for a national tour. Are you looking forward to that, Brian?
Yeah, very much so. It was great fun last year, and I think that it was over too soon. We were all saying, "Oh, that was so much fun," and Eric said, "We've got to do this again." And I said, "Look, let's do it again. Let's just pick the right time, and if there's the interest there again, let's go." And it's been selling great, so it's all looking great.
Well, no one wants to miss it. Pseudo 1927, the celebration tour kicks off later this month. Tickets are on sale now. Brian, always great to see you, buddy.
Great. Nice to chat to you guys too.
Thank you, Brian.